as soon as the feet of the priests touched the water, then the river stopped up. So it was like, it was clear and obvious that it was like, all right, yeah, that was kind of the trigger for that stuff happening. What's up, cool people? My name's Matt. Welcome back to our Bible study. All right. So we're looking at Joshua chapter 3. Previous couple of chapters basically just involved saying, hey, Joshua is officially the leader of Israel now. He's going to be the one leading them across the Jordan River. And he basically tells the people, all right, we've got a few days to get ready, but we're about to do this thing. Meanwhile, in chapter 2, it said that he sent some spies over to Jericho to sort of scout things out, see what the situation is over there, and then bring a report back to him. And the scouts almost got caught, but with some help from Rahab, they were able to hide and then sneak out a different way and then eventually make it back, with an agreement that they would keep Rahab and anyone in her house safe whenever, the armies of Israel come and invade. So, yeah. That's, I guess, the context for what's going on in chapter 3 here. So here we go. Joshua chapter 3. Early the next morning, Joshua and all the Israelites left Acacia Grove and arrived at the banks of the Jordan River, where they camped before crossing. 3 days later, the Israelite officers went through the camp, giving these instructions to the people. When you see the Levitical priests carrying the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord, your God, move out from your positions and follow them. Since you have never traveled this way before, they will guide you. Stay about half a mile behind them, keeping a clear distance between you and the ark. Make sure you don't come any closer. Interesting that it had to be that much distance between them. I know there's some stuff that comes up in other instances related to, like, the touching of the Ark of the Covenant, but, like, half a mile is not necessary regarding that stuff. Maybe that'll make more sense in a little bit here, but, so yeah, they've now advanced to, like, right at the Jordan River, and they're getting ready to cross over. But the priests are going to lead the way, carrying the Ark of the Covenant, which I kind of assume represents, in a way, that, like, God is going out before the people, leading the way. While it might physically look like it's the priest leading the way, metaphorically and spiritually, it is God leading the way for them. Footnote there at Acacia Grove, Hebrew just says Shittim. That's just the actual Hebrew name of the place. Some of these renames, I think, some of them are just for better understanding of modern context. So we might know that, oh, hey, yeah, I am kind of vaguely familiar with this place and where it is and the geography. Other times, I think it's more so, a rename that's, like, based on the possible meaning of the original Hebrew name. I assume this is more so the latter. Also gives you an idea of, what the area was like. I mean, Acacia Grove. Acacia being a type tree. And yeah, anyway. Footnote there at the half a mile. Hebrew says about 2,000 cubits, which could also be roughly 920 meters. Yeah, that's a little under half a mile to my understanding. Because pretty sure it's over 2 kilometers in a mile. But anyway, details. General, that's why it says about half a mile, I guess. Also, like, none of them had ever traveled this way before. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess it wasn't so much a, like, oh yeah, these priests are going to lead the way because they know where to go. Maybe it's more so just because they're being led by God, and then the people are going to be led by the priests who are being led by God. Anyway. Alright. On to verse 5. Then Joshua told the people, "Purify yourselves, for tomorrow the Lord will do great wonders among you." In the morning, Joshua said to the priests, "Lift up the Ark of the Covenant and lead the people across the river." And so they started out and went ahead of the people. The Lord told Joshua, "Today I will begin to make you a great leader in the eyes of all the Israelites. They will know that I am with you, just as I was with Moses. Give this command to the priests who carry the Ark of the Covenant. When you reach the banks of the Jordan River, take a few steps into the river and stop there." Okay. So, I guess maybe this was after the 3 days that they waited at the banks of the Jordan. Then Joshua, obviously, wanting to get them ready, purifying themselves would be all the more, showing their desire to follow God in this situation. And then priests are taking the Ark of the Covenant and leading people, and they're going to take a few steps in with the Ark of the Covenant and stop there. And we'll get to why that's the case a bit later. Anyway. Oh, actually, okay, so the Lord told Joshua to tell the priests about carrying the Ark of the Covenant and stopping a few steps into the river. Anyway, slight detail, but can be a bit important. Because sometimes, the people speaking after God tells them to say something will add things or subtract things from what God said, and that can make a difference in the outcome of the broader situation. But anyway. Alright, verse 9. So Joshua told the Israelites, "Come and listen to what the Lord your God says. Today you will know that the living God is among you. He will surely drive out the Canaanites, Hittites, Hivites, Perizzites, Girgashites, Amorites, and Jebusites ahead of you. Look, the Ark of the Covenant, which belongs to the Lord of the whole earth, will lead you across the Jordan River. Now choose 12 men from the tribes of Israel, one from each tribe. The priests will carry the Ark of the Lord of all the earth. As soon as their feet touch the water, the flow of water will be cut off upstream, and the river will stand up like a wall." So, they're being led by the priests with the Ark of the Covenant. And then after the priests step into the water, kind of them / the Ark of the Covenant itself, in a way, are going to act like, I don't know, I just imagine this almost like sort of barrier type thing almost. But maybe that's not quite the correct imagery to think of there. In any case, wherever they end up stepping into the river, right around there, the flow is going to get stopped up, and then the rest of the river from that point on is going to dry out. So, not quite the same as what happened at the Red Sea when they crossed there, because there wasn't anybody necessarily standing in the river with the whole, parting of it going on, or standing in the Red Sea with the parting of it going on. But still a very similar idea of like, all right, we're crossing a body of water, but God's going to, make it dry at a certain point for his people to cross. So much like they crossed much like they crossed the Red Sea to get out of Egypt and out of their slavery, then the next big step into, enacting God's promise and moving toward their ultimate destination in this case is that, Jordan River is going to get stopped up and they'll be able to cross on dry land. So, didn't really have any other thoughts related to this set of verses here. So I'll move along to verse 14. Probably just wrap up the reading for the chapter, and then I'll give any other thoughts that I have. So, verse 14. So the people left their camp to cross the Jordan, and the priests who were carrying the Ark of the Covenant went ahead of them. It was the harvest season, and the Jordan was overflowing its banks. But as soon as the feet of the priests who were carrying the ark touched the water at the river's edge, the water above that point began backing up a great distance away at a town called Adam, which is near Zarethan. And the water below that point flowed on to the Dead Sea, until the riverbed was dry. Then all the people crossed over near the town of Jericho. Meanwhile, the priests who were carrying the Ark of the Lord's Covenant stood on dry ground in the middle of the riverbed as the people passed by. They waited there until the whole nation of Israel had crossed the Jordan on dry ground. Also, Adam? Maybe that's a name from a different culture, because I'm like, okay, Adam was the first person to exist according to the Bible, and my understanding of the Hebrew translation of that, maybe just as a name for a person, would have been like Dirt Man, but maybe as a town name it means something a little different. Could be Dirt Town for all I know, but anyway, so yeah, priests walk into the river stops up. Further ahead, people are able to cross on dry ground, and the way that it's described with what happened around the priests, I would assume that, once everybody else had crossed over, they were also able to finish crossing and get through just fine. Also, as soon as the feet of the priests touched the water, then the river stopped up. So it was like, it was clear and obvious that it was like, all right, yeah, that was kind of the trigger for that stuff happening. Footnote there at Dead Sea, Hebrew says the Sea of the Arabah, or the Salt Sea, which the Dead Sea is very salty, we all know that. Again, probably just one of those different name for it sort of things. the rename here is probably more so for the sake of a modern understanding, so we have an idea of what's going on here and where it's happening. So I'm just trying to... The way that this is worded makes it, I guess... So does the river flow to the Dead Sea or from the Dead Sea is what I'm trying to figure out. But I guess not really a super important detail. Sometimes I, like, overanalyze a little bit, trying to figure out details. Anywho, so yeah. The Israelites have now crossed the Jordan River, I assume into, or at least very near Jericho, because it said that that was right around where they crossed over at some... Yeah, then all the people crossed over near the town of Jericho. So, as this chapter ends, they're near Jericho. But, yeah. Guess that does it for Joshua chapter 3. Okay, so the priests carry the Ark of the Covenant into the Jordan River. And basically, from that point on, the river dries up so the people can cross on dry ground. Sounds kind of familiar, you know, with the whole crossing of the Red Sea beforehand as the people were leaving Egypt. But, anyway, that's really about all that happened in this chapter. So, as always, like and share if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel and click the bell to get updates when I post new videos. Make sure you look down in the description to get info on other social media pages, all that good stuff. If you're seeing this over on Rumble, give me a follow there. And whichever platform you're viewing this on, leave comments down below with any thoughts you have. So that's going to do it for now. Hope you're all doing well. Hopefully I'll see you for another video soon. But whatever the case is, till next time, stay cool, people.